Welcome everyone and thank you so much for joining in. So before I dive into the content, I just want to make sure that we reach 2,000 likes in today's video. And also for those individuals watching this for the first time, you are not going to regret after subscribing this channel, because my videos are not just only technical analysis video, but I also add educational stuff. So this is win-win for both of us. So now starting this year in a smaller time frame, we are over here, guys. Yesterday we talked about this three valley and a river, but the price of Bitcoin got a rejection around this 48,000 range. Is this three valley and a river that we talked on my yesterday video still in play? Because according to the three valley river, you can see after forming this three valley, price usually sees this movement at least towards this point C area after breaking the resistance line, and this point C is going to be 62% from A to B, and that is around 0.618 Fibonacci line. So in our case, if this exact scenario is going to play out, we have said the price of Bitcoin could be approaching around this 52,000 price range before choosing a trend direction. And right now, since the price is slowly heading towards this upper line area, we want here in a daily time frame the price of Bitcoin to break this resistance around this 48,500 at any cost, because if we do that, then maybe we could see this move here at least towards this 0.618, just like as shown here in the example before price chooses a trend direction. So that is the reason why we want the price to break out of this 48,500 range at any cost. And not just only this, let me also show you this one very interesting scenario, which is pointing out if the price of Bitcoin does manages to break this resistance and flip it into support, there might actually be this relief rally type of scenario. So now let me show you with the help of this daily time frame why breaking this 48,500 could give us a temporary relief rally type of scenario here in price action of Bitcoin. Because if you simply follow this falling trend line, guys, you can see very clearly this falling trend line has actually acted as a strong line of support here in past Bitcoin price action. And now if we look at the same falling trend line, this price action of Bitcoin is below this trend line which previously acted as a support, and now you can see we are getting rejection from this falling trend line again and again. And that's why the price of Bitcoin here is also forming this lower highs lower lows continuation pattern. This is a descending channel. So if we break this resistance, this falling trend line resistance into support like this here, guys, breaking out of the resistance and flip it into support, then we are not only going to break the resistance from this falling trend line, then we are also going to break the resistance from this descending channel which is forming lower highs lower lows continuation pattern. So that is the reason why we have to break this, because breaking out of this 48,500 will also trigger another movement. In that case, we could be forming this new higher highs higher lows continuation pattern here in this manner. So that is the reason why we want the price of Bitcoin at any cost today to break above this 48,500 and stay at that range. Now, before I switch into other chart, I just want to make you aware, Bybit and Femex both are providing around $4,100 bonus each. I mean, the total of $8,200 bonus is being provided for our community members. So if you are an experienced trader and want to take advantage of this market volatility, then this is the great opportunity, because Bybit, as you can see, is providing around $4,100 bonus if you use my ref link and sign up, which is going to take you not more than a minute, and also with Femex. So I personally use Bybit for trading, and if you want to trade altcoins, then Femex could be a great option as well. Now let's switch into other chart. So those who have been following me for a while, you know, we talked about this exact scenario that could also be playing out right now here in price action of Bitcoin, because after breaking out of the upper line area of this falling wedge, we always saw a really nice impulsive movement followed by a corrective movement and then a bigger price retracement. Similar scenario happened here, you can see bigger price pullback. So we said, hey, we have to be careful, because the price of Bitcoin has also formed this lower highs, because in the past Bitcoin price action, you can see whenever we form this lower highs here, for example, we had another bigger pullback. You can see broke out of it, price retraced again, we were not able to break the previous high structure, another bigger price correction. We have to be careful, because in our case we are forming another similar scenario, because this price retracement here is still lower than the previous one. So that is the reason also, if we break out of this chain here where we are forming this lower highs lower low continuation pattern, break this 48,500, flip it into support, then we could be starting a new movement, also invalidating all this bull trap that played out here in past Bitcoin price action. So if we don't want this to play out, the price of Bitcoin must break out of this previous high, which is sitting around 49,500 price range. And not just only here, guys, we know if this bull trap is actually going to continue, just like here, a bigger pullback, right? Lower than the previous low, lower than the previous low. In our case, if it's going to be somehow like this here, lower than the previous low, then we have to be careful, because the price in that case could be forming this Wyckoff price cycle. Because according to the Wyckoff's price cycle, as I've already mentioned you on my yesterday's video, the price of Bitcoin here formed this accumulation phase, right? After accumulation, we had this markup phase. This here could be a distribution phase with a spring action involved, just like what I showed you on my yesterday video. And now this price retracement, what we are witnessing, could be a markdown phase. So that is the reason why the price must break this lower highs, lower low continuation pattern and form a higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern, so that we invalidate all this bearish scenario that could be playing out parallelly right now with Bitcoin. And not just only this one here, if you are aware, yesterday in a bigger time frame, we talked about this one scenario, which is pointing out the price of Bitcoin at any cost must close this weekly around this 48,500 range. Because if we do that, right, then the support here from this rising trend line is still going to be there, which is holding the price since March 2020. Support from this 50 weekly moving average is going to be there, and also the falling trend line. This falling trend line, which previously acted as a resistance, support must also be there. So that is the reason why we want the price of Bitcoin in a weekly time frame to close above 48,500 range. If we do that, then the bulls are going to defend this territory, and we could see some relief rally type of scenario playing out. And if that is going to happen, then this three valley and a river will be playing out parallelly for Bitcoin. So these are some of the interesting scenario thought sharing with you in today's video. If you enjoyed this kind of content, then come on guys, hit the like button. Let's try to reach 2,000 likes in today's video. And also for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button and the bell. Now by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye guys.